The lavender on Matt, the pink on Ross. God damn, we some handsome gentlemen. High five. Whoopsh. My man, thank you for being here. Let's talk. Let's get into it. Serious stuff happening. Tell the people what the American Civil Liberties Union is.
Sure. So the American Civil Liberties Union is a legal nonprofit. We've been around for about 100 years, have worked on big civil liberties cases that you've probably heard of. And yeah, we're out to defend the Constitution, especially in times like these when they're...
We need defense in times like these. In fact, your guys' motto is... tell us your guys' motto. Oh, because freedom can't protect itself. That's right. That's a fantastic... That's right. And freedom isn't free. It's a hefty fucking fee. How often do you quote Team America at the ACLU?
More regularly than you'd imagine.
Yeah, I would. That movie was on point. What's the big thing now? What we're talking about is Trump's travel ban. Before we talk about what you're doing to fight it, tell the people what it is.
Yeah, so when Donald Trump was running for president, he went around telling people that he was going to ban Muslims from the country, and he delivered on that promise. Now, almost 2 weeks ago, he signed an executive order which excluded Muslims from entering the country if you were from 7 countries, so he was delivering on that promise, and that's what we're fighting.
Citizens in 7 majority Muslim countries couldn't enter the United States.
Right.
You, in turn, with the ACLU, Portland was outraged. We were protesting at the airport. We wanted people to be able to come to our great state.
Right.
We want people to be able to come to our great country. Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. That's what we want. It seems to me that a travel ban is the exact opposite of what the Statue of Liberty says, what our Constitution says. A country of immigrants, and yet we're trying to go back on what made us, what's the word I'm looking for? Fucking fantastic. That's what it is. You, in turn, with the ACLU, sued the Trump administration.
That's right.
Now let's soak that in really quickly. Let's say, yeah, because we were all here. We were all here election night together, and it was, what's the word?
Terrible.
Fucking frightening.
Terrible.
Fucking frightening. Terrible. Call it what you want. Anything but fucking fantastic. And we were concerned, and fears have come to be reality. But you sued the dork of the free world.
The Cheeto in chief.
That's much better than the Cheeto in chief. How did it come to be that you were able to? Can you sue?
Yeah.
Can you sue the student body president?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and we did. Yeah, I mean, look, he passed this order. It was shameful for the reasons that you talked about, right? Like it goes against our values, who we are as a country, who we are as a state,
right?
And it was unconstitutional. It discriminated against people
Well,
based on their religion and also based on their ethnic origin, right? Like their country of origin, and both of those things are prohibited under the Constitution.
Okay, so what laws were being broken specifically by this?
Yeah, so the First Amendment is the Establishment Clause. That's the law that prohibits you from making laws that violate religious freedoms.
My favorite amendment. It's what allows us to be up here and
the freedom of speech,
and barbecue and hand out taboo stuff and get fucking wild. Freedom of speech.
Yeah. So religion is wrapped up there.
Sorry, I
Fuck yeah, freedom of speech.
Fuck yeah, freedom of speech. It's nice to be with a man of your stature and say fuck yeah, freedom of speech. So broke the First Amendment.
Yeah. I mean, in other laws, right? It violates a bunch of international laws and international treaties. I mean, if you look at the complaint, there's probably 17 different things that we're claiming.
I read. My father's an attorney.
Oh, cool.
He's passed 5 bars, and I tend to go into 5 bars a night, so we have a lot in common. Carl, thank you, buddy. I read, a few pages of the lawsuit. Though it's thick. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening.
It's not really a page turner.
But you, and what the ACLU did and many others, the circuit court overturned the travel ban, ladies and gentlemen. It's been overturned, correct?
That's right.
For now.
Yeah, well, so the district court in Washington said, like, no good, right? And not just like no good, but this is like
that
terrible.
was the judge's ruling was no good.
This is a POS, right?
Right.
But then the Ninth Circuit heard arguments, and in a unanimous opinion, they said the ban stay, the stay. Sorry, let me make sure I say this correctly.
It's all right.
The stay on the ban, meaning like the ban cannot go into place. People can come into the country.
Right.
The Ninth Circuit upheld that, and then just today, actually, another court in Virginia reaffirmed that position and said, yeah, this is no good. So, Virginia is not the most liberal place.
Right.
And they are all the judges there. And by the way, the guy in Washington was a Bush appointee. He's not like an Obama appointee. He was a Bush appointee, a Republican judge, who said this is no good. And
when we're dealing with this travel ban, we're not saying it's not. The country already has many vetting processes. The idea is that we shut down to immigrants, I mean mostly, because the countries are of Muslim faith. It shuts it down to them. The majority, is that correct? I mean, it was these Muslim nations.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, if you were, like, it didn't matter if you were a legal resident from here. Like, if you were a green card holder, like, you literally were
and that's
already...
That's the thing. There's already a vetting, the idea is that Trump's saying, well, it's terrorists. But it's shutting out, people who have family here, people who have green cards and visas that have already been vetted, they're allowed to be here.
Right. Yeah, I mean, last week we welcomed this, like, incredible family that was an Iraqi man who served as a translator for the U.S. military.
Right, he worked for our military.
For 3 years.
Right.
Literally, like, in the front lines.
Right.
Like, being bombed.
Right.
And him and his family had been granted a visa to come here afterwards because now his family was being prosecuted, persecuted in Iraq. Right, for helping the U.S. military.
Right, it's not a safe place for him.
Right, it's no longer a safe place.
Because he helped us, we should give him a place.
Right, and he was prevented from entering the country.
But you were able to.
But we were able to get him into the country.
Fan-fucking-tastic. That's fan-fucking-tastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Since the election, your membership has doubled, so people are stepping up. 350,000 donations since the election. And look, if I can do it on a performer's budget, you can do it too.
Yeah.
Tell the people how they can help.
Yeah, go to ACLU-OR, so it's the ACLU of Oregon website, and you can donate. I mean, you can donate $5 a month. It's hugely helpful to have that kind of sustaining membership, and every dollar goes so far with this organization. And it's not just this, right? It's everything from like protecting people's students' rights, right? Like kids who are getting discriminated against or bullying, like same-sex marriage, like all of these things. We've been on the front lines this whole time.
And not a government agency.
No.
All donation funded, and you take on many causes from many different sides of the coin. All political parties. There are causes you've taken from both sides. All sides.
Yeah.
Both sides, up sides, down ways, east ways, west ways, like with the Wonkavator of assisting people.
The ACLU of Oregon is actually the reason why you have stripping in Oregon.
Oh, man. Well,
we took that case to the Supreme Court of Oregon so that dancing is protected speech in Oregon. I shit you not.
Man, why? Thank you, sir. Why didn't we start with that? Thanks to you, we got our after party tonight at the Lucky Devil.